And welcome back to another race where I have to commentate, but welcome to Australia Tier 1 Season 5 of Intrepid Racing League. Should be a good race. All the other races here have been pretty good so far, pretty competitive for the most part. A little bit late on attendance, but lots of fast drivers here today, and should be fun to watch. I think mostly a grid of returning drivers. We do have a new driver who has not driven with us before, Robo Eric. So he will be making his Intrepid debut today. No one on a flyer just yet. Cloud City will be the first one to set a time down, it appears. So we ride on board with him now. A little bit of controversy in the Tier 2 race yesterday, as we did have a driver, Vaxi, win the race by, I think, 20 seconds, mostly on pure pace. Don't think that will be happening today, though, with how strong the grid normally is up here. At least the top 10 tend to be very, very close, generally speaking. So Cloud City now finishing up his first lap. Will be the first to set a time down in this session. Cloud City with the 1:16.4. See anyone else on a flyer right now. Football Dog going 2/10 slower than that, so he gets to the line. Franco, a driver that I believe will serve a full race ban in the actual race session, left over from last season, but he is permitted to drive in the sprint event today, but not the full race. I believe that is what the stewards have ruled on that. I might reach out to them for clarification before we do get to that session, but he is a very fast driver, so curious to see where he goes now. Does put down around a 1:16 flat, almost 4/10 quicker than Cloud City. So that is a pretty damn good pace. I do not recall what the pole position time was for Tier 2, as we are now on board with Hash Brown, the newly signed V-Carb driver and former world champion in Tier 1. As we see MK7 Hitch driving for the Williams team, going 7/10 off, and we have a new provisional pole position time set from Leaky. There's a 1:15 breaking into the 1:15, so looks like the track is probably ramping up, I'd assume, because that's significantly quicker than Franco, unless Leaky is just the man to beat today. But Hash Brown now powers his way to the finish line. See where he goes. In the mid-pack, P8 and 1.2 seconds off. It must be said that Hash Brown, I don't think, has been playing this game as much as he was 24, so might take him a little bit to get up to speed with his new team and the new handling model of these F125 cars. I'm curious to see what tire that... Leaky did set that tire on soft, so the track might not be ramping up that much, but the soft tire might just offer that a little bit more of an advantage when compared to the mediums right now, which is to be expected. So I will leave that on, except it will be super useful in this session. Now on board with Randro, very quick driver, newly signed to the McLaren team for this year. Actually got yanked out of Tier 2 because of his success in that tier. Yeah, I see. That's why I put it on, Ellie. Randro putting down a very quick time, also on the soft tire. About 1.5 tenths off of Leakey's time. Both of those men are on softs. Now cutting the stamp, so it looks like he is on an in-lap. Mark Lax also on an in-lap. And I don't think anyone is on track right now. Yeah, the more the merrier, Eric. Just don't kill anyone. It's kind of all we care about. Yeah, a bunch of these guys now switching onto the softs. Randro on an in-lap. Franco on an out-lap now with a Iceman behind. I thought that was Iceman behind him. So 2 minutes and 15 seconds left into the session. I'd assume most of the drivers will be leaving the pits right about now to get their outlaps done. Michael Salome will be the first one to put down a lap time. Behind him, it looks like Cloud City or Stamp, so it's going to be... Nope, that was wrong. It's Eric. So we see some shenanigans in Sector 3 as these guys are tripping over each other, trying to figure out who's going to go first. Michael Salome leads the pack off on this final shootout lap. And Mark Lax has retired from the session, I assume, because he wasn't able to get around again to do another time. P11, that will be challenging for him to get good points from there. So Michael now increasing his time by at least 4 tenths. That will put him provisionally, I think, in the P5 if that holds. We're now going to cut to Franco, who is on his final quick lap, only improving about 1.7 tenths at the moment right now, but those are crucial amounts of time right at the top. Randro opting to stay in the pits, thinking his P2 on the mediums will be a good enough time. Now on board with Scarenzi, trying to see what his improvement is here now. With about 2 tenths, good enough for provisional second or third. And Michael powering to the line, improving by 7 tenths in the P4, so those soft tires yielding a lot of extra pace. Franco now powering to the line in the 114s, in the 115, very low 115, 115.5, good enough for provisional pole for Franco. Now on board with Scarenzi, improving by 2 tenths as of now. around the final corner. We'll see where he ends up. Good enough for P2, and that is a very quick lap from Scarenzi. I think improving a lot there in Sector 3. Cloud City up against the wall. He will not get another lap in. Now on board with MK7 Hitch. Has a second to find. Looks to be a very quick lap. Good enough for P4, so a good lap from Hitch. And anyone else out on track? I believe that will be the order for the sprint. Franco, serving a race ban this weekend, but able to participate in the sprint event. Puts himself on pole for the sprint race. And your top 10 is going to be Franco, Scarenzi, Leaky, Hitch, Randro, Football Dog, Michael Salome, Iceman Rules, Hash Brown, and then Cloud City. And it looks like there is going to be a race for this event. Five red lights out, and it's lights out, and away we go at the sprint event in Australia, Tier 1. In the rain, everyone looks like they are going to get through turn 1 pretty safely. A couple people on the grass in the back there. Couple big losers from lap 1 now. Or turn 1. Looks like Randro lost out on 6 positions, B-Dot out on 8, and that is a disaster for the McLaren team. Kind of makes me think of when Eric is out of the session, not sure what happened there. It makes me think of the American race in Texas recently of the real life, and it looks like, is there a safety car? No. And the hunt is on for Scarenzi on Franco on lap 1. Sorry, just getting some administrative stuff squared away. And Scarenzi still all over the back of Franco here. There is a nice train of 4 cars following each other nicely in at the end of lap 1 now. None of these guys have swapped positions just yet, but a big disaster for McLaren so far in this race. Scarenzi opting to not dive on Franco just yet. Not sure if he lacked the pace or is just trying to be strategic here. As we now cut to Cloud City in the Alpine behind Iceman, looking to get a nose in. Stampso and Michael Salome have now pit, I'm assuming because of damage. And everyone is on the... cutting out of Scarenzi, who has not been as close to Franco as he is now. And now Randro is out of the session. I'm assuming that is a pit lane DNF, but not 100% sure what happened there. Must have been a turn 1 incident that we didn't catch on the broadcast. Scarenzi still pushing. Not getting by him just yet. Not sure what his ERS levels are looking like right now. DRS is obviously disabled at this moment, I believe. But the top 4 have not traded positions yet. Cloud City still chasing Iceman rules as Leaky sets the fastest lap of the race. Cutting back to Scarenzi, still hunting Franco. Looking for a chance to make the dive. I'm assuming these guys are just fighting for grip out there in these conditions. Australia, not one of my favorite tracks. Not sure about these guys, but especially in the rain, I don't think I would be having much fun right now. The 2 leaders, Franco, not 2 leaders, Franco and Scarenzi, the top 2 have pulled away out of Leaky's DRS. Good for Scarenzi, he can only focus on attacking Franco now, as it looks like MK7 has gotten past Leaky. Missed what happened there. Not sure if it was a little bit of a mistake. But they have pulled 2 seconds now, so just really differentiating themselves as the premier drivers in this event right now. Scarenzi faster than Franco on that lap. Still deciding to not go for any type of move right now, assuming that he has the pace. I will just take a look at his ERS really quick. Yeah, these guys both being strategic about where they're using their ERS. That 2-second gap to Hitch remaining strong now as Leaky is falling back. Not too much racing going on, but looks like there's a little bit of a DRS train from 5th to 8th. And then behind them, 9th to 12th. A lot of guys who got caught up in a turn 1 or lap 1 incident, I'm assuming. Scarenzi still biding his time behind Franco. It's going to take a really good exit from Scarenzi to get the jump on Franco. Both driving very brilliantly right now as we cut to Cloud City, and we can see the Mercedes of Iceman getting the move done on Leaky. Not sure if Leaky got some damage somewhere because his pace is just falling off a cliff, getting overtaken now by the Alpine of Cloud City. All going wrong here for the Haas driver, down 3 positions. And then behind them, Speedy now looking to make the move on Leaky. Leaky moving a little bit late, pushing Speedy to the outside. Speedy getting that move done cleanly now. Hash Brown will be the next driver to look to get past Leaky. I mean, this is just a total disaster for the Haas as we see the Mercedes of Iceman going deep, and I do think he got overtaken by the Alpine. Didn't quite catch that. Scarenzi dropping a little bit back on Franco. Not sure if Franco just has him on pace right now, or if Scarenzi is taking this strategically. Hash Brown catching up to Leaky. Leaky moving extremely late. That is going to be looked at by the stewards if that is reported, because that is an incredibly dangerous move. But Hash Brown does get the move done. DRS is enabled. Track drying a little bit now, so curious to see if anyone will take a strategy gamble with only 5 laps remaining, but I highly doubt that. Scarenzi now closest to Franco than he has been in a few laps now. Doesn't get the best exit onto the start-finish straight. Hitch now pitting. Curious to see what happens with him, what he's going to go on to, because this could change the whole dimension of this race if he chooses to throw on a hard tire. And the softs are going on. So that is a super interesting decision from Hitch to pit and put on the soft tires now. Cutting the Cloud City now in the Alpine as he's looking to reel in Iceman. Scarenzi still half a second out to Franco. Cloud City now closing on the Mercedes ahead. Oh, and that is a bit of a disaster for the Alpine. Not sure if he got damaged there or if he got... or what happened. It didn't look like... Oh, and that is a spin from the Alpine. And that is the race all going wrong for Cloud City. I think he might have gotten forced out by the Mercedes, but... now, Speedy on the back of Iceman. We'll have to figure out what happened to Cloud City after the session, but that is a disaster for him. It was all going right. And Speedy taking the gamble, I'm assuming going to go onto the soft tires. Scarenzi again setting the fastest lap behind Franco, taking this very strategically now. Want to figure out who is on what tire. So Speedy... oh, there's 3 guys now on soft tires. So it looks like the group behind the top 2 who didn't have much to lose, weren't going to get them on pace, decided to take the gamble. Leaky actually on mediums and Stampso way behind on mediums as well. But curious to see how this... oh, and I just totally noticed the rain is totally stopped. That was not 100% obvious to me for a moment. Oh, and that does not look like the soft tire is going well for MK7 Hitch. Scarenzi still behind Franco, has just been staring at his diffuser for most of this race, but I think he is going to go for a move now that the grip is going to start to ramp up. But they are not on the right tires, it must be said, for a drying track, because this track has gotten dry rapidly. So we'll have to see if Hitch starts to set any super quick lap times. Or, well, actually I lied because Hitch crashed, and Scarenzi probably could have gone for the move on Franco, is quicker at this very moment, but chooses not to dive. Wants to make it to the finish line with his car in one piece. Hey, Golden, maybe you should show up and do this if you have criticism of the race director, actually. That's a good suggestion. Scarenzi, still behind Franco, chose not to make a dive on the start-finish straight. Definitely has the pace on him now. Forced to the outside by Franco. Has the position. Will keep the position through the chicane. These guys going wheel to wheel into a heavy braking zone. Franco opts to stay behind Scarenzi. Scarenzi now in the lead of the race. Screnzi now appears to be gapping Franco by a little bit. Not sure that's actually rapidly not happening. Franco closing back in on Screnzi now as Hitch on these softs is setting the fastest lap of the race, but it won't matter too much because they are on the penultimate lap. Gap opening up a little bit now, but I believe Franco will have DRS, so he will stick to the diffuser of Screnzi for now. Have been informed by the Alpine team principal that Cloud City actually got a puncture, so he didn't spin on his own. But right now, the only racing that looks like it's happening besides Mark Lax and B-Dot is this fight up front. Oh, Franco almost getting a run on Screnzi there, almost also going into the back of his car into that heavy braking zone, but I would think that I do think that Franco will get another dive on Screnzi if he wants it here. It just depends on how much ERS he has to stick to the back of Screnzi on this straight, because he will get the DRS. Battery advantage will go to Screnzi. I lied. Franco is what I meant to say. But he does not get the move done at the end of that straight. It's going to be very hard for Franco to get the position now. As we go into this heavy braking zone, there is a yellow flag, it looks like, on the start-finish straight or at the end of this sector. So curious to see if that will affect how these guys end up. Oh, and Franco just looking for a gap. He is super close. There could be a little bit of a drag here if he gets a very good exit, but Screnzi just finding the grip, staying ahead onto this start-finish straight, and Screnzi will take the sprint win. Behind them, Iceman coming home to take third on the track, but I think Hash Brown might snag that position from him. Hash Brown does snag that position from Iceman. Hitch coming home in fifth. Speedy will come home in sixth, and I don't think these positions will change at all because there's not much racing going on. Hopefully the actual race itself will not be marred by rain because I just don't think the racing is very good in rain here. Very well done by Screnzi. Very tactical race from Screnzi. Taking advantage when he could and getting the race win. Many times where he could have dove into Franco and tried to force the move, but very, very well done from him to wait for the right moment to get that done. Hearing that Leaky disconnected, so I'll see if I can get him invited. I don't know if he has me added, though. Gotta take a picture of these. Yeah, and I really do hope there is no rain in this next session because it's just not as fun. And I will be taking Yep, okay, so Franco will be serving his final ban from an incident that occurred, I think, in Las Vegas of last season. But very good for him that he's now fully done with that once the session is over, and I will be taking a 2 to 3 minute break to get a drink. And I'm back. Doesn't look like anyone has set a time down just yet. Not sure what everyone is waiting for. Potentially they might have a messed up allocation from the previous session. So maybe not going for 3 full laps as we see Mark Lax setting down a provisional pole, 1:16.659. No one else has done a lap yet. So this looks like Eric. Not sure what happened if he had a invalidation. Seems to be the most likely, as we now are on board with Leaky, a driver who unfortunately got disconnected from the session in the sprint race, but very quick driver, was up there in the top 5 until that disconnect happened. Speedy putting in a lap about 1.7 tenths slower than Mark Lax. As we see Leaky now powering his car to the line. Let's see where he goes. And that is provisional pole, about 1:16.1. Doing his... Oh, and spinning, trying to avoid the Alpine. Oh, not sure what just happened there. If Eric had to jump to get out of the way of another car on a flying lap. I think that is maybe what happens. Not positive, but a little bit of drama. The end of the start-finish straight here in qualifying. Not too much on-track action happening right now. I don't believe. Looks like it is an outlap, though, for Cloud City. Stamso now starting a lap, and I think a lot of these guys are holding back on going too early because they have a reduced amount of softs because of that sprint session. Someone can correct me if I am wrong. Stamso a little squirrely through turn 1 and 2. Still on board with Stamso as he enters Sector 3 and looking to see how much he improves. Or I guess not improves because he has not set a time yet, so we'll stay on board with him until he finishes this lap up. And then jump to someone else on the flyer. Hopefully won't get impeded too much by the McLaren there. It looks like he got away okay. And Stamso, that's a lap good enough for P2. Pretty good from the Williams driver. As we now ride on board with Mark Lax, veteran of IRL in his 5th season, if you could believe that, folks. Looking to improve by at least 6 tenths here and put himself onto the pole provisionally. using a lot of ERS before he reaches Sector 3. Pretty smart to do because there's not a lot of tarmac in Sector 3, a lot of windy, heavy braking zones. Pretty nicely done in that last collection of corners as he now powers his way to the line. Randro leaving the session. I will send out another invite to him shortly. Mark Lax does not improve, actually goes backwards just by a tad on that lap. Hash Brown still on an out lap. Eric on something. Hitch on a flyer now in the Williams. Super Sub, I believe, competed for Mercedes last race. I think he won the last race. Eric getting a 5-place grid penalty. That's a disaster. I'm not sure what happened there. Hopefully no damage for another driver because that's unacceptable. Still on board with Hitch, now definitely a contender for this provisional pole. We'll get either dirty air or a tow from the Red Bull, I think Mark Black's going in. And Hitch puts it on provisional pole as I am going to invite Randro now. Mega lap from Hitch to put himself 1.7 tenths clear of Leaky behind, who is still in the pits. Slight touch with ice. Oof. Doesn't look like ice is damaged as he gets out of the way of a flying Scarenzi on his first flying lap. Also a contender for this pole in the main race today. Well judged through that fast chicane. Solz, if you could let me know if Randro is all good, as Scarenzi powers his Red Bull car to the line. And that is our new provisional pole. These guys just keep going 1.7 tenths quicker. Scarenzi now squarely into the 115s. B-Dot on his second flying lap, I believe. This might be an in-lap, and it is an in-lap. Eric, no idea what's going on. He's all good? Okay. Michael Salome on an out lap for what I believe will be his only flying lap, if I'm doing that math correctly. Leaky now on an out lap. Most of the grid still in the pits. So Leaky will be the first driver from this top 10. Oh, I lie. Eric might be to put down a lap. Still on board with Michael Salome now as he's going to enter Sector 3 shortly. Does not have a time on the board yet, so this will likely be his only time. So we'll see where Michael puts his RB car. Pretty well done from him into 6. Now on board with Leaky, leading the pack in this final run. Assuming a bunch of these guys will come out, they might not have the tires to come out again, which would be kind of interesting. Mark Lax on an outlap has about 9/10 to find. Leaky throwing the car on rails through that quick chicane. So these guys that want to come out will have around a minute now to get out of the pits and get around the track, as Leaky, oh, 3 thousandths between him and Scarenzi on that provisional pole, but it is good enough for P2. Scarenzi will go out to set another lap. Absolutely mega job from Leaky, but Scarenzi 3 thousandths quicker. So Hitch and Iceman going out now, still on board with Mark Lax in the Red Bull. This is a very strong driver, but probably his strongest parts of his toolbox are not in his qualifying pace. But I would expect him to be competing for a podium if he can get a couple positions here. Not getting the improvement he wants in Sector 1. I think I do have time to stick on board with him for his whole lap, as a bunch of these guys will just get in at the final seconds. Yellow flag in front of Mark. That looks to be... I cannot tell what that is. I think that's an RB. Oh, don't impede him. No, that's a Haas. We'll give him some sort of tow, I think. Onto the final straight. Let's see where Mark ends up here. Only good enough for P6. Now we will cut to one of the other drivers on their flyers. Hitch needs 1.7 tenths to put himself on the pole. Leaky will be done, I believe. We're still driving on track. I'm not sure if that is an old set of tires. Iceman behind him. Michael, first one to be done and out of the session, officially. B-Dot, I think, will lead these guys off, and then I will have to cut to what looks to be an RB. B-Dot, good enough for P4. Behind him, Hash Brown comes to the line, P6. Scarenzi, a new fastest lap of the race, 1:15.552, as I think Speedy just went P4. Randro, good enough for P2, 15 hundredths off. Hitch now powering his way to the line. And that is pole position. 1:15.538. The top three are separated by less than 30 hundredths. Or 30 hundredths is what I mean to say. That is crazy. Hats off to all three of those drivers. Very, very, very fast laps. taking a picture of this. But what a qualifying session. Top 10. Separated by under 8/10, a second all the way out to, 9/10 all the way out to P12. So pretty close session. I do think this will be anyone's race from the top 5 in the dry. It does look like we are going to have a dry session today. So it should be very fun to watch. Ten seconds. And we are go here in Australia in the dry. Going to be a lot more of a competitive session than the previous wet session as Itmar gets past Iceman Scarenzi into P1. Little bit of jockeying for position. I might have seen some shenanigans in the background. Football Dog is down 7 positions, so this is a disaster weekend for him, unfortunately. Cloud City getting past Leaky in the background as we watch the front of the grid at the moment. Scarenzi already pulling a gap of 1 second to Randro. Michael Salome closing in behind on the Haas of Leaky as he dives up the inside of him. A little bit of contact, might have gotten forced wide. A lot of people sticking to the guy in front right now. Hard to tell where the overtake is going to come at any given time. Speedy closing in on Hitch ahead as Scarenzi sets the fastest lap of the race on mediums. Want to see what tires these guys are on. Hitch on the hard. Yeah, a lot of mix of strategy right now as far as tires are concerned. Invite Leaky, okay. I don't know if I can invite him if he hasn't added me, so that can't happen. Someone else will have to do that. Franco now serving his grid penalty, starting from the back of the grid, has made up a couple positions here. Already up 4 positions by the and we're on lap 2, so very well done from him. Up 5 positions. This is a very rapid driver. Oh, as we see Michael Salome either forced or making a mistake, cutting the chicane. Stewards might have a look at that if he doesn't give the position back. But Randro all over the back of our race leader, Scarenzi, right now, who did get impeded in qualifying. Probably would have been good enough for the pole position, but has taken the race lead in his hands on lap 1. Hitch setting the fastest lap of the race of 1:19.212. Randro still not going to overtake Scarenzi at the moment, as Michael does receive a 3-second time penalty for extending the track. Speedy closing in on Hitch now. Oh, he was, and then he pulled a little bit of a gap. Hash Brown eyeing up Iceman in the Mercedes in front, looking to get a move done on him. Cloud City behind, eyeing up Hash Brown. So everyone right now is within DRS except for, there's someone. We got to cut to this real quick though, except for Hash Brown. But Randro hounding Scarenzi now, probably going to take this strategically like Scarenzi did in the sprint earlier. Change of position in the back. It looks like Iceman got past Cloud City or vice versa, but Franco looking to make a charge through the pack, stalking behind. Stamp cell all over the back of Mark Lax. Not close enough at the end of the straight. Yellow flag. And that is Eric in the wall. That's not good for him. But lots of guys still within DRS. There's just a ton of racing going on right now. It's hard to watch all of it. Almost the whole grid of DRS train except for Hash Brown. Not close enough to Speedy to stick to his DRS, as we see Franco looking to make the move on Cloud City. Not quick enough on that straight. Oh, as we see Cloud City go wide, Franco thought about diving there, but opts to try and take him on the straight. Cloud City needs to focus on locking back in so he doesn't get overtaken here. Will pull a large gap to... Oh, Iceman in front pulling a large gap to him as we see this pack of cars throwing their way through turn one. This is incredibly hard to follow. It is a giant DRS train. Everyone being pretty strategic with where they go for moves, as we see Cloud City taking advantage on Iceman there. Franco now behind his teammate, curious if they will swap positions, because Franco is the quicker driver right now, I believe. Iceman down 3 positions. Yeah, they definitely should swap for the purpose of maximizing the points, as we see Hitch closing up to Randro. Oh, as we see Franco now all over the back of his teammate. There is a very fast 4-car train here. Speedy pushing Hitch, it looks like, through the corner. Wants to get that overtake done. And there is a yellow flag somewhere in Sector 3. That is Eric's car not moving. No idea what happened here. That's not good that his car hasn't moved. No safety car or VSC yet. Franco probably yelling at his race engineer to let me pass my teammate. He has the overspeed on him now. Teammate forced a little bit out wide there, but he does let Franco through without a huge fight. And the charge is on for Franco, up 6 positions. Safety car will probably need to get called in order for him to get into any real contention today, but very well done so far. Eric says he keeps spinning. Yeah, might want to DNF in the pits. Franco missed it there, but overtook Hash Brown. Sorry about that. Oh, it looks like something might be wrong with Hash Brown, going extremely slow. Franco's teammate, Iceman, following through. Football Dog now all over the back of Hash Brown as well. Not sure what is wrong with the RB driver. So you see Football Dog on the inside of Hash Brown now. Oh, hash brown forced out onto the grass there. Might get reported to the stewards. Not sure who was at fault. Hash brown just falling down the order. He might have damage. I can't see it if it's there. As we see Stamso forcing his way through now on him. Robo Eric opting to DNF in the pits. Thank you for that. Oh, and there's no way. Oh, no. How does that... Oh, he got damage. And there is a full course safety car. Oof. Well, for entertainment value, that's good, but really, I think Eric might have should have gotten it back into the pits in one piece and retired. Not sure why there is a safety car if he got hit. Hopefully, he did not affect someone else's race too much besides the obvious safety car, but Scarenzi opting to pit, top 4 pitting now. And everyone jumping into the pits. How did you DNF, Eric? Did you hit the wall? I kind of thought you could have gotten that home cleanly. Anyways, we have a new race here, and Franco is 100% in it. Couldn't break. So, everyone opting for fresh rubber. Cloud City and Hitch on the softer rubber, but those are not going to make it to the end of the race. I would have to imagine. So there might be some split strategy going on. I mean, I'd be shocked if those mediums make it to the end, but who knows? Safety car not in this lap. It will go around another time, even though everyone is bunched up. No one with a penalty yet except Michael for extending the track. Yellow flag. Still, I don't think that's from the safety car, so maybe it is. Safety car will definitely be in at the end of this lap, so they will have 20 laps from here. I really don't think the... Oh, some shenanigans. Oh, what is going on? What was that? What was that? Well, it wasn't reported in incidents, but someone losing a wing on the safety car, that is just extremely unacceptable in Tier 1. Stewards will definitely have a look at whatever occurred there. And there's a severe collision going on from Randro and MK7 Hitch. 10-second time penalty for the McLaren driver. A ton of dramatics. This should not be happening on a safety car restart in Tier 1. Hitch already has a time penalty, so not sure if Hitch hit Randro and Randro got the wrong penalty, but this should not be happening in Tier 1. There's some beef. It looks like Hitch has pitted. Scarenzi will take them away. Randro released to fight Scarenzi. God, and that was just piss poor. Not sure what happened there. Yeah, B-Dot is now in P6 after a disaster at the start of the race. Good point from Solz. Really want to figure out what happened on that restart because that was just shambolic. Stamso on the back of Hash Brown now, trying to follow all of this racing. Cloud City on the back of Speedy. As Stamso goes for the move, gets by on the straight. Cloud City, cut to him, follows quickly and nicely through the fast chicane. Franco up 8 positions as we see Mark Lax getting past Iceman in the back. Feel really bad for Hitch, not sure what happened on that restart. Would have liked to see him compete for the win. DRS is enabled as the top 6 are all within DRS range of each other. Mark Lax closing in on Hash Brown. Yeah, just reading the chat here at what happened on that restart. I think someone got alongside a driver who was weaving, and maybe the Williams got weaved into, so it could be ending up looking like it's Hitch's fault, unfortunately. As we cut to Franco, who is up 8 positions, trying to make up another on the Alpine driver of Cloud City, but B-Dot behind charging, man on a mission. Looks like he is flying. Doing well to stick with Franco, who's an extremely quick driver. Mark Lax fighting Iceman in the background. Iceman getting overtaken and then getting the position back into the braking zone. I am trying to speak very quickly. I should slow down. But B-Dot charging through the pack, sticking to the back of Franco. Probably will try and work with him to get through people, I'm assuming. I don't know if it's in his interest to go for an overtake with him and keep fighting, because Franco could be the quickest guy out there right now. Giant train forming. B-Dot looking for a opening on Franco. Didn't get it there. A little bit of a lockup as we cut to Stamso and Hash Brown fighting. Oh no! And that is a giant incident. That is a giant incident. Hash Brown did get forced a little bit wide onto the... Oh, God, and that is Leaky flying through the corner, hitting the wall. Yeah, I can show tires. That is a disaster from Stamso and Hash Brown. Hash Brown getting forced onto the curb and then spinning into Stamso. That will get looked at by the stewards, but absolutely devastating for Hash Brown. Lots of fighting still going on. People are sticking in DRS range, but that is awful for Hash Brown. Not sure if Stamso got any damage from that either. Scarenzi doing well to manage his gap to Randro. I'm assuming that 10-second penalty will get removed anyway, so this should be real racing. As we see Franco closing in on B-Dot. I must have missed. That's a lie, not B-Dot, Cloud City. Sorry for misspeaking. Doesn't go for it at the end of the braking zone of the turn 1. Straight Randro still all over the back of Scarenzi. Speedy looking to make a move on Randro. ton of racing happening. Still hard to keep up with all of it. Franco very, very close to Cloud City now. I think he is going to use his ERS and go for this move. Sticks to the inside, doesn't make the lunge, all in Cloud City. Very smart for the longevity of this race, his race, and the health of his car. Coming back at him now. Heavy braking as they both make it through the corner. What a move from Franco. Another time penalty to Michael Salome for going off track. Very, very well done from Franco. These guys all very close together still now. And there is just fighting going on all over the track as Mark gets a little loose and into the back of Iceman. B-Dot now attacking Cloud City, who has fallen from P4 to P5 and now into the clutches of the charging B-Dot, who was at some point in this race, I believe, in last place, doing very, very well to get up in the 5th. Gets the move done on Cloud City. Speedy into the diffuser of Randro. I think the quicker driver at this point. Not sure if Randro has any damage, but I would be expecting some drama in the paddock chat after this race between the McLaren of Randro and the Williams of Hitch. Oh, not sure what just happened there, but Iceman is through on Stampso. Some team principals talking to each other in the Twitch chat. Stampso pushing Iceman through the corner now. Scorenzi uncorking a 1:19.1 as the fastest lap of this race. Solz potentially unsure if his driver was in the wrong on that safety car incident, looking to get Randro the P1 position from Red Bull. Oh, as Mark hits the wall as he's just pushing, trying to get up to the back of Stampso now. Some gaps starting to form as guys are falling out of DRS, but still a lot of racing going on. Got to check the tires. So top 5 all on hard, 6 and 7 on mediums, as we see Stampso on the inside of Iceman. Well done from the Williams driver. Oh, 20-second penalty. I did not realize it was a 20-second penalty. Randro is driving with a 20-second penalty right now, folks, which would put him out of the points, or into 12th, if it sticks. Oh! And that is a big mistake from Mark Lax, who we saw pushing very, very hard earlier. No yellow flags or VSC. Car is still on track as we see Franco now going wheel to wheel with Speedy. Speedy, who was pushing so hard to get in front of Randro, but just wasn't able to make it done, has fallen now into the clutches of Franco. B-Dot following the Mercedes driver through. There is a esports train at the front here, folks, as there is a yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like that was Leaky. Leaky is going slow. Not sure what happened to him, but he has hit the wall, I think. Dramatic still up front as we see Randro pushing to overtake Scorenzi. Not going to do it here. Franco behind Speedy. B-Dot behind Franco. Cloud City 3.5 seconds back. So Franco is in that first DRS train and in contention for the win from last place. So we are now on board with Michael Salim, who is going wheel-to-wheel with the damaged car of Mark Lax. Unfortunately, I think that damage was all self-inflicted, just pushing the car a little bit too hard. Speedy closing in on Randro, who does have DRS to Scorenzi in front of him. Franco not going to go for the lunge on Speedy. All these guys being very, very respectful up front in the top 5. B-Dot falling a little bit back now. Franco looking for a spot on Speedy, and we can see Randro ahead is looking for the spot on Scorenzi. These guys are just flying around the track, staying within each other's DRS. This is great racing. Scorenzi and Randro fought each other for the win in the sprint and won. That's what happened. And Scorenzi won. Absolutely fantastic racing from the guys in the top 5 right now, must be said. Feel really, really bad for the Williams driver, Hitch. I think he should be here right now, too. But shenanigans on the safety car restart leaves him languishing in P11. B-Dot very close to Franco now. I'm going to start checking their ERS a little bit. And that's interesting. Scorenzi, the clear advantage right now, being the strategic one up front, letting these guys fight behind. He has a large store of energy. Estamso receives a 3-second time penalty for extending the track. But these guys are as close to each other on track as they've been all race, I think. Scorenzi doing very, very well to almost pull a DRS gap, though. Interestingly enough. Now on board with Franco as Mark Lax receives a 3-second time penalty for extending the track, probably due to his damaged car. Cloud City has boxed onto another, I don't think it was another hard tire. I think he might have gone medium hard. Not positive. Mark Lax also opting to fix his wing and put on a fresh set of hard rubber. Franco definitely has the overspeed on Speedy here. Oh, game of chicken as Speedy breaks later. Maintains the position. Franco playing this very, very nicely now, very strategically. B-Dot sticking with this pack. So he is still... Oh, and that is Speedy going wide. Oh, and this is a total disaster. Blue flags, what is going on? Oh, no. That was the Haas driver, I believe, of Leaky. Getting in the middle of that battle there. That is a shit show for a lack of words. All these gaps now discombobulated. Scorenzi has pulled a 1.2 gap now to Randro, and that just ruined some great racing. That is disaster. I don't know what just happened. I think he might have gotten disconnected. I don't think he quit. But that's just poor, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, okay. So he was getting lapped while disconnected. Not totally his fault, but amazing that the game lets that happen. As we see Football Dog powering his way through on Speedy. Speedy really, I think, got screwed by that Haas that was blue flagged. Just very, very unfortunate for that. Yeah, the Haas that got lapped didn't add me, so Okay, just leaving his car out there. Oh, and is that a safety car? That is a safety car. MK7 Hitch is DNF'd. Not sure what happened. And a little bit of a godsend for these guys that had some damage or lost positions from that. Yeah, terminal damage from Hitch. So he did hit the wall somewhere or got hit by another driver. Hoping that wasn't another lapping incident, but we will get the race equalized. Scorenzi opting to stay out or was past the pits. That could be disastrous for him if it was just the case of where he was on track when that safety car got called. But everyone else behind him opting to pit. There are 8 laps of racing here, so a gamble of what rubber you put on. It just also depends on what you have left. If you did save a pair of softs throughout this weekend, like Randro, you're able to throw those on. Franco from the back now in P2. Let's see. Up 11 places, so I guess he wasn't totally at the back. Not sure how that happened, because I think he retired. Interesting. Solz, what happened to B-Dot? Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Did he stop again? Oh. Wow. That's highly unfortunate. Jeez. Anyway, curious to see if Scorenzi will box here. This is a little bit of a Max Verstappen Spain situation. Oh, what just happened? Okay. Yeah, it looks like Randro served one of his 2 10-second penalties in the pits that screwed B-Dot. That is just so unfortunate for B-Dot. Nothing we could do or he could do to avoid that. And he had been going so well. But Scorenzi on old rubber will have the extremely fast driver of Franco behind. This is certainly a legacy drive for Franco right now. He's going to win. Good quality band to race win, assuming this plays out how I think it will. Just totally unfortunate for Scorenzi as well, because he was past the pit lane, I believe, when the safety car was called. Stamso up in the P4 on fresh rubber. Safety car will go in this lap, so we will have a full 6 laps to decide the race win here. I'm expecting Scorenzi to fight like a lion to retain this P1 and maybe see if he can't get these guys to fight each other on restart. That's definitely what he wants. Speedy now up in the P3. Really happy for him, because I think he got messed up by the Haas that was getting overtaken under safety car, or blue flags. Oh, so does he have an old set of mediums? Because it says they're 8 laps old. That's why I was saying that. As we do have the restarted race going now. Stamso all over the back of the Haas getting lapped. Randro getting past Stamso. Franco all over the back of the race leader Scorenzi, wanting to get through as quick as possible. In the background, we can see Iceman getting through on older tires on B-Dot. Unfortunately for B-Dot. B-Dot fighting back now, though. Oh, and that is Speedy really pushing Franco. Speedy really wants this race win. Forced to the outside, can't make the overtake there. Randro getting through on Speedy on the softs, and Randro is flying. Speedy following him still. All these guys quick in P1 through 6 in their DRS, without DRS yet though. Screnzi staying ahead of Franco as Cloud City in the background gets a penalty. Franco has the position now, forces Screnzi to back off. Yellow flag on the track, it says. I don't think that's true. Oh, and Randro into the back of Screnzi. Screnzi finding it hard to maintain position on these softer, older tires. DRS is now enabled, which will be a godsend for Screnzi if he can get back into the DRS of Franco. And Randro just punting Screnzi a little bit through that corner. That is not very sportsmanlike. I know he didn't mean to do it, as we see Speedy getting the position on Screnzi too. That will probably be reviewed by the stewards, that move that Randro just pulled on, or whoever just pulled that on Screnzi, to be honest. But it probably wouldn't have mattered because of his pace falling off in the old tires. So curious to see what that gets ruled. Randro, though, has to make up 1.6 seconds to Franco and do it quickly, as we see Stamcell all over the back of Screnzi on the older tires. It's all gone wrong for the Red Bull driver today, unfortunately. I think he swapped on the old mediums, if that might have been his only option. It's just not working out right now. Stamcell trying to give Screnzi the racing room, but all it's doing is bringing other guys up behind him. Stamcell gets through on Screnzi as Screnzi defends from Cloud City now. Oh, and I think Speedy might have gotten past Randro when I wasn't looking. Oh, and there's a giant crash on the straight. Safety car is called. These guys will have one more restart in this chaotic session. Not sure what happened, but that is the stranded and destroyed car of Michael Salome on the main straight. Godsend for Screnzi. I believe he will. I don't know if these guys will pit, actually. They probably won't. So maybe not such a godsend, but we will get one more restart here. I'd like to know what happened to the RB of Michael Salome, because that car was totaled. Trying to get the info on that crash with the RB. No one opting to pit from what I can see. If you have a fresh pair of softs and you're in that back half of the grid, you might want to pit. But they have not picked up the safety car yet. Cloud City opting to pit, I assume, onto a soft. Iceman Rules also pitting. Franco now in the lead of the race from, what was that? Won't tell me. P13. So absolutely a legacy drive for him, although he was aided somewhat by the safety cars. And this will be the third safety car of this race. I didn't think there was particularly dirty driving, but I'm sure we will get some reports to the stewards to see. Yeah, Hitch complaining about another driver. So we will see what happens with the stewards' tickets. Could definitely throw a wrench into the post-race results. Safety car will not go in this lap. Very, very dramatic race so far, marked by Eric crashing a good couple times, causing a safety car restart incident between Hitch and Rangero, and then a dramatic crash from Michael Salome on the start-finish straight. Not sure if he spun or got hit, but trying to get that information now. Race control says safety car in this lap, so we will get a 2-lap shootout. Speedy looking to get his first race win in a while, I believe. Don't remember if he won one last season. I think he did end up winning one, but definitely would like to get this one here today. He has been at the front consistently and was fighting for in that top 3 before an incident with a botted lap car. So everything to play for now. Franco leads them off. Oh, and that's a spinning Rangero. Not sure what happened, but got jumped on the restart. Scorenzi is up into... Oh, and there's a bunch of fighting in the back. Not sure what is going on here in the turn 1. Bunch of dramatics between the McLarens. That is an RB on the grass. It looks like that was Hash Brown, and these guys are just absolutely going for it now. No holds barred. No strategy. Just fighting as we see Mark Lax getting overtaken there by Stampso in Cloud City around the outside. Will hold that position. Speedy getting gapped a little bit by Franco, but they have opened up a 2-second gap to B-Dot. So I'm trying to follow all that's going on. Iceman getting through on Marklax. Marklax is falling down the order on old tires as Iceman goes wheel to wheel with Cloud City. Will hold the position into the fast chicane. Speedy still 7/10 behind Franco. But Iceman, rapid on these soft tires, just uncorking pace here, is in front of Cloud, also on the softs. Randra recovering a little bit from his spin, now behind B-Dot. I don't believe B-Dot was there. B-Dot, I think, was in last place at one point, so maybe a little bit of a legacy drive for him, too, if he keeps on this podium. DRS is now enabled on the final lap. All the dramatics, if you're in the guy's DRS range in front of you. Final lap. No one opting to overtake right now. At the start of the lap, we do have a big straight coming up as Franco is now gapping Speedy by a second. Now on board with Cloud City. watching this pack of cars as they come through the quick chicane. Almost a little bit of contact between the Alpine and the Mercedes, and Speedy is closing on Randro into the dying stages of this lap. Will he send it? Not Randro, Franco, sorry. And it looks like Randro is trying to overtake a B-Dot, and there's an Alpine in the grass in the background. That's probably Cloud City. Stamso following the stricken Randro, who might have hit the wall earlier. Franco will win it on track. Speedy getting second. Football B-Dot getting, I think he got moved down from penalties. And just, oh my, that was hard to follow. But Franco coming through to win from a qualifying ban. The absolute cinema. What a drive. Scarenzi taking the sprint win. Franco taking the race win. Speedy getting second. Iceman in third. So a Mercedes 1-3 on track at the moment. Need to get a picture of all this. A lot of shenanigans. I think messing up people's races. Penalties and lapped cars and safety car incidents, and that was a wild race and definitely one to remember for Franco. That should be everything. I will get the incidents on here. And I've been your host, Lewis. Thank you for watching, and now I'm going to go check out the Beef in Chat.